here from Pop Turner, speaking to Jenna Warren about Thanksgiving, which is going to be in theaters starting November 17th. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm not going to waste any time right now. I'm sorry. And it's in the trailer. It's not a spoiler. I don't think I can look or think about corn on the cob the same ever again now.
I know. Thank you, Eli Roth. I was just saying it used to be my favorite Thanksgiving dish, and now I can't look at corn the same way again. So, yeah.
I mean, did you, it's funny because I don't know, like, maybe you knew, maybe you didn't. I mean, they put it in the trailer. Did you know they were going to put it in the trailer? Or was it a surprise to you and your family and friends?
It was a surprise. We got to see the trailer the day before it came out, and my roommate actually is Shaylin Griffin, who is in the film as well.
Yes.
And I opened my laptop and we started watching it, and I was like, wait a second, like that's me. And I couldn't believe it. That was such a surreal moment. You know, it's a crucial part of the film, and the fact that it's like the first thing you see in the trailer, I was like, wow, it was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's crazy and terrifying at the same time, but it's a very cool moment.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about this one, Jenna. I mean, I remember when they announced the movie. So obviously we're going 15 years back with like the trailer, the Grindhouse and everything. Eli Roth wanted to make this movie for a while. It was finally announced he was making it. And you know how it is, right? There's like the announcements that it's being made, then cast announcements, and then filming, and then trailers. Is it starting to hit you that it's finally out? Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's been less than a year since we started. I mean, we started filming at the beginning of March of this year, and the casting process was just before that. So it's been a lot in a really short amount of time. And I'm in LA right now, and it just kind of started to hit me when we had our screening the other night, and there was people there waiting for us, and you know, they had posters of us, and because you know we've been in a strike for a little bit,
Yep.
and so we didn't even know if we would get to see the movie all together. And so the fact that you know, timing is a beautiful thing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so thankful that this all came together in the perfect timing. But yeah, it's definitely hitting me this week. I don't know what's going to happen tonight and tomorrow. I'm going to see the movie tonight with Jalen Thomas Brooks, who plays Bobby in the film.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to sneak into a theater tonight and watch it, and then I think I'm going to go see it again tomorrow. It's going to be crazy to see it like playing at theaters, not just
I
a
already
screen.
have plans to see it 3 times because so many different people want to see it and their schedules are different. So you know how it is. Like,
Yeah. Well, go see it as many times as you want. I'm not stopping you. Please keep those going.
So I'll tell you what I love about this one too, and it makes me so excited. And this is why truly this was one of my most highly anticipated horror movies of the last couple of years. Like, this one's circled on the calendar. I'm a big horror movie guy. You know, there's the slasher movies where you know who the killer is, like, you know, the Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then, of course, there's like the whodunit horror movies, right? Like the Scream movies where you don't know who the killer is. We have a little bit of a two-headed monster with Thanksgiving, right? Where at the end of the day, it's a slasher in a small town, but it's a whodunit. We don't know who the killer is. Do you think about that at all? Because I feel like that's one of the coolest things about this project.
It's so much fun. Like, because it's constantly a guessing game. It's a murder mystery, and it's like you said, like a classic slasher at the same time.
Yes.
And you never know where John Carver is going to come from. You never know who John Carver is. You change your mind like 4 different times throughout the film, and then at the end it's like, whoa, okay, that's John Carver. Like, it's crazy, and it's such a fun ride. You know, you go through so many emotions with horror movies, and this one is no different. It's almost like a heightened roller coaster ride.
Well, here's the thing. Like, everyone asks me, like, why do you like horror movies? Why do you love them? It's the same reason why I listen to like heavy metal music. When I listen to heavy metal music, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. When I watch horror movies, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. It's the rush you get.
Exactly.
It's the best. Is it safe to say that, like, working on this, like, what was it like when you wrapped this project? Because there's a lot of intensity and it's like one of those nobody is safe movies and there's a lot happening. Like, did you have kind of an appetite to work on this genre again? Like, what was that like for you after working on this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I want, if I could do horror movies for the rest of my life, sign me up. It's so much fun. And the energy on set is crazy. And we all became such good friends, like so close. And it felt like we were hanging out every day and there was cameras around, and you know, and then at the end it was like, oh, we just filmed a horror movie. And I think like one of the last week of filming, there were some pretty gruesome scenes. And I think that's when we all sort of realized like, here we go. This is legit. This is happening because there's so many, high moments in the film because it's not just like a horror movie. Like it encapsulates like, you can go to like a movie with your friends who doesn't love horror movies and they will find something to like about this movie
Yep.
because the roller coaster aspect and you're laughing and then you're screaming and then you're watching friends hang out and then all of a sudden one of them gets killed. Like it's crazy. And so wrapping it was really cathartic also because we just made Eli's vision come to life. And that was, to be a part of something like that after, wanting to make it since he was 12 with his best friend Jeff.
I know.
It was crazy that we got to be a part of that.
It's so crazy. He's an iconic filmmaker. It's one of the when an Eli Roth movie comes out, you go see the Eli Roth movie. That's basically how it is. That's how it's been with me. And I find it too interesting because, you look at a movie like this, and like I said, it's a small town, and it's like it's the perfect scenario for a horror movie. You know what I mean? Small town, everyone knows everyone. There's like this whole like everyone knows maybe people's weak sides and stuff, and like the kills might be more strategic, right? So I'm just curious, like when you got the whole script, what were some things besides what we talked about in this interview, like the slasher, the tradition? What were other things that kind of came to mind? Because it's also funny. Like, what were other things that you were like, wow, like I didn't really notice it until like really reading the script?
Yeah, one thing that really stood out was that small town aspect. I'm from
Yes.
a really small town in northeastern Ontario, and so when I found out we were going to be filming, small town aesthetic, I was so excited. And we actually filmed in Port Perry, which is like 30-40 minutes from where I grew up. So it just made it feel that much more real, which also made it feel more scary. Like
Ooh.
there's an underlying tone to this movie of it being so realistic in a weird way,
Yeah.
as realistic as a movie can be, but like it's really grounded. And I was really excited to get to play with that alongside, screaming my head off. Like we got such a fun plate to work with. And Eli, having worked with him in the past, I knew he would be really collaborative, but also stick to his vision. And that was really special to, get a sense of looking through the script, being like, this is like a really cool moment that I think we can really play up.
Mhm.
Um,
So great. And I kind of want to know as well, like, are you a big horror movie fan? Like, do you like watching horror movies?
I am the scaredest person in the entire world. On our first day on set, I will not give anything away, but on our first day on set, a certain someone was dressed up in a clown
Clown.
costume.
The reason I bring, so yeah, Jalen, I've interviewed
Jalen,
Jalen. You told me
oh my
about the
God.
clowns.
Yeah, so so that's what I'm working with. But of course, working on this movie, I wanted to do Eli justice, and of course, I
Yeah.
went back and watched his films. And when I found out Rick Hoffman was in it, I was like, okay, Hostel, here we go. Like, let's watch this.
Mhm.
I'm terrified of everything, but I love horror movies. It's a weird contrast, but
Yeah.
they're so much fun.
They're fun,
And
and there's a coping mechanism that I used growing up, Jenna. That
tell me,
if
please.
that I will tell you. So I remember specifically like going to see The Grudge with Sarah Michelle Gellar, being like terrified, and then being like, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay. It's not real. It's Buffy. She's an actress. Like
Mhm.
it's an actor. You know what I mean? Or like going to see Amityville Horror. Like it's Ryan Reynolds. It's Bad Wilder.
Yeah,
It's not real. That was
yeah.
how and then I watched a documentary of how they make horror movies. And it was like they're doing all the blood and everything, the corn syrup, and like they were having so much fun like doing it. And I was just kind of like, this is like, yeah, I know how it's made now. Like I'm not grossed out as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when we were filming it, like I've mentioned, it was like filming with my best friends. We were just hanging out all day, every day, on set, off set. And then the last week, it was like, crap, here we go. Like, because it's so much fun. Like
Yeah.
you play, like it's such a fun genre because you get to play.
Yeah.
And you don't get to like, have such vast experiences and emotions when you work on other projects, but with horror movies, you get a range. And
I
it was
know.
really
It's so crazy. Yeah, no, it's funny like about the clowns and everything because I went to like a haunted house for Halloween this year and like there was like a clown haunted house and it was like I'm not like I usually can do clowns, but like this one scared me. So like I understand. But I did this one called The Shire, which was like I was outdoors and it was like Texas Chainsaw themed, like people with chainsaws with like pig masks. But the scariest thing about it was the weather was really bad and it was raining. So like you felt like you were like in the like a movie. Because like you're running, like no one's chasing you because I think they were told like it's raining. Like you have to like but like you're walking in this forest and it's like muddy. And like you slip a little and like you hear like the chainsaws. Like it was pretty scary. Yeah, I know.
Lights out. I'm done. Thank you.
I find that so ironic because you are in one of the most like you have one of the most terrifying scenes that people are going to be talking about for decades. And you were scared of that's like that's so funny to me. I have to say.
It's very funny, but also maybe healing in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But like, I feel like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, man. Obviously, it's in the trailer, so we're not going into big spoilers, right? But I feel like a lot of those scenes, like you're really in the zone and you're not thinking about, you're not seeing a lot of the stuff, right? So it's like, was that scene scary to film or not as bad as you think? Because sometimes you don't realize how scary they are until you see it, right? Like you're in the zone, you go in and you do it, and you're not thinking about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're filming most of the scenes at night. It's a closed set, especially, for that whole sequence. And I think the scariest part about it was making sure I got the shot right because, in the trailer, the corn skewer is going in my ears. And we all see this, it's not a spoiler, but to get that shot took so many takes. I think like 6 takes because, we wanted to get it perfect. It had to look real. It had to look like they were really in there. So we actually did a reverse shot, which is really cool. And Eli was like, we have to do this in reverse. And so it was so close up and so intricate. And it was like, okay, do it again, do it again, do it again. And then all of a sudden we got it. And it was the most like relieving feeling ever. And so that it was scary because I didn't know, what it looked like because it was so close. And I wanted to get it right. And I think we did. And it looks really, really cool. So crazy. It's so crazy.
And one of the things I'm so excited for people to go see in theaters, because I've realized this with horror movies specifically, Jenna, too. I mean, like going in the movie theaters is the best because just the experience is the best experience. The sound. Like the unsung heroes of these movies are the sound editors and mixers. Let's be honest. Like the sound of these movies is incredible. You can hear everything.
Yeah, that's what highlights the movie. That's what enhances it. You need that sound or it doesn't do it. It doesn't work. And so Eli, he was really careful about it. He is a genius and he knows exactly what he's doing. He would never deliver something that couldn't deliver. Yeah. And so especially with this film, he put his all into it as we all did as well. And yeah, the sound is crazy.
I'm not even talking about the scores and everything because music and score is great and everything, but I'm talking like specifically like sound mixing, right? Like yeah.
It makes or breaks it, quite honestly.
I've noticed it more and more like after the pandemic, like going back to the theaters, I've like noticed it more. Like I went to go see like The Boogeyman this summer and I was like, the sound of this movie makes this movie scary. Like it's like, and with Thanksgiving as well, there's some sounds because there's a killer and there's knives and like
yeah, that Johnny C guy, John Carver, he's out to get you.
What did you refer? Are those? What are they even called? They're like corn in the cob holders. Like, what is the official name for them?
I mean, I think they're called corn skewers.
Corn skewers, yes. There's a GIF on. Did you see the GIF on Instagram?
Yeah.
Of the little corn guy with the smile.
Right, and the fact that there's a happy face. I had to do a corn skewer fitting where we tried on a bunch of different corn skewers, and then Eli's like, "Why don't we put a little face on there?" Like a little smiling face, like a little haha, gotcha. And it's the smallest detail, but it is so impactful.
Oh my God. And I can't wait for people to see it. People are going to be able to see it. I'm so happy for you though. Congratulations, honestly.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that means a lot to me. We're all so excited. We've worked on this for, it hasn't even been a year and it was ours for a little bit and it was Eli's and then it was ours. And as of, tonight and tomorrow, it's no longer ours. And that's an exciting feeling. I'm so thankful we get to, share this with everybody now.
And 2 quick yes or no questions very quickly. Did you have a prediction of who the killer was?
Like who
the killer was? Like when you were like, did you have a prediction? Like
I was wrong.
You were wrong. Okay, that was my second question. You were wrong. Jalen said he was right. And I was like, what? That's crazy. So yeah.
No, You know what? Honestly, Jalen's an incredible writer, so he probably was reading it from a writer's perspective and knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
I was shocked. I actually like got it wrong, and then I went back and I was like, wait a second. Oh, and I was like, wow, and I had to read it again.
Okay, so another question then are you conscious of the audience member like watching the movie and figuring things out while you're filming it, or does that kind of happen more like when it's out? Because I do find that interesting too, right?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, no, because the way I approach projects is that the characters don't know there's a camera. The characters don't know there's a killer. The characters have no idea what's going on besides what's right in front of them. And so, there, of course, there's that element of like, I wonder what the audience is going to think.
Yeah, like the chatting after. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
that's not how I choose to do my performance. And I think because of that, it really helps because, when you're in your everyday life, you're not thinking about anything else but what's going on right in front of you.
yeah.
And so I think that just helps the performance and the realism overall.
Absolutely. And Thanksgiving's gonna be in theaters starting November 17th. I can't wait for everyone to see it. Jen, it's so great chatting with you. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. You have such great energy, and I'm so glad that you're going to see it like what three times, 20?
Three times. But if we're not, but here's the thing, like I appreciate it with the energy, but you're in Thanksgiving, directed by Eli Roth. Okay, corn skewers. If we're not excited, what's the whole point of this?
Yeah, it's crazy. I still can't believe it. Been a pinch me week. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
so
it's gonna continue because the movie's not. Oh, that's the weirdest thing because there's
Yeah.
some people in your life that have seen it at screeners and certain things, but like this is calm before the storm. Like it's gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be great. Jenna Warren on Instagram, is that where people can keep updated with everything?
Yeah, Jenna_Warren.
Awesome. Well, this has been Popturnative, youtube.com/Popturnative for previous episodes. You can, of course, catch Jenna Warren in Thanksgiving in theaters starting November 17th. Until next time, it's Jenna and Pity Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popturnative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popturnative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.